The maid answered a phone call in French right in front of the millionaire. The next day she was summoned to the mansion. "My God, what kind of help is this?" Lorena Vasconcelos's voice cut through the air like a blade. Clara Ribeiro, 29, was discovered behind the curtain of the Imperial Ballroom. Her navy blue uniform contrasted brutally with the elegant gala dresses. The Grandeur Hotel sparkled in the Sao Paulo night. It was the most important charity ball of the year. Clara had been cleaning when the event started earlier than expected, and now she was trapped amidst Sao Paulo's elite. Lorena, a 45-year-old socialite, pointed at Clara with disdain. Security and intruder. Everyone stared, and the ball came to a complete stop. Clara stepped out from behind the curtain, her face flushed. "I work here. I'm on the cleaning staff." "How convenient." Lorena laughed cruelly. "Just when the richest men are gathered." On Clara's uniform was an antique silver butterfly brooch, an heirloom from her grandmother. She clutched it, seeking strength from the only valuable thing she owned. Magnolia Castellani entered the forming circle. At 65, she was the matriarch of high society. Her black dress and jewels spoke more than words. "This is inappropriate," Magnolia stated with calculated coolness, addressing everyone present. Clara tried to maintain her dignity, remembering her grandmother's words, "He who has courage in his heart never dances alone." "Please, I just want to leave." "Of course you do," Lorena interjected, her words cutting deep. "After getting what you came for." Clara recoiled, stumbled, and fell. The brooch slipped from her trembling hand and rolled across the marble floor, reflecting the chandelier lights. Absolute silence fell as Clara lay on the floor, exposed and humiliated. From the other side of the ballroom, Davi Castellani watched everything. 32 years of a controlled life of heavy responsibilities. Something in that scene deeply disturbed him. He saw the brooch glittering on the floor and felt a strange familiarity. Davi walked across the room and guests parted to make way for him. He was the heir to a billion-dollar empire. Magnolia smiled, expecting him to walk past, but he stopped, knelt, and picked up the brooch. The metal still held the warmth from Clara's hands. As he touched the butterfly's details, a vague memory assailed him. Someone had worn something similar a long time ago. "This is yours," he said, extending the brooch to Clara. She looked at him with suspicion, but his genuine kindness disarmed her. "Thank you." When their hands touched, both felt an inexplicable electric current. "What's your name?" "Clara." The name resonated as familiar. Davi studied her face. There was something in those eyes. "Davi, please," Magnolia interjected with polite impatience. "We have commitments." But he ignored his mother, extending his hand to help Clara up. "I can do it myself," she said, yet stumbled again. Davy held her by the arm. His touch awakened something he couldn't name. "I need to go," Clara whispered. "My daughter is waiting." "Your daughter," he repeated. "What's her name?" Clara hesitated, but replied, "Luna." The name struck Davi like lightning. Luna. Why did that name seem so familiar? Davy was lost in fragmented memories, something about Clara, about the name Luna, about that brooch. Without understanding why, driven by an instinct that defied all logic, he did something that shocked the entire ballroom. "May I have this dance?" Absolute silence. 200 people paralyzed. The country's most coveted billionaire was asking a cleaning lady to dance. Clara looked at his outstretched hand as if it were a trap. "I can't, please. Please!" He insisted, something urgent in his voice, a vulnerability she hadn't expected. Slowly trembling, she accepted. The confused orchestra began a soft waltz, and then the magic happened. Clara couldn't suppress her true nature. She moved with a natural grace that her uniform couldn't hide, a refined technique, the elegance of someone who had seriously studied dance. They danced as if they were made for each other. In the ballroom, the shock multiplied. A socialite stormed out furiously. A waiter froze with his tray suspended. Some whispered indignantly. Cell phones began to capture the impossible. "You used to dance," Davi observed, not asked. "A long time ago," Clara replied, lost in the music. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to dream. The music transported her back to when she was Clarina, a young woman with a brilliant future ahead. Davi studied her face as they danced her eyes, the way she tilted her head, her shy smile. "You," he murmured, confused. "Your name. Have you ever been called something else?" The danger in the question abruptly awakened Clara. "I need to go." "Wait," he gently assured her. "Clarina." Clara's world collapsed. No one had called her that in 8 years. No one except, "How do you know that name?" Davy studied her features with growing recognition. "It's impossible, but my God," he whispered. "It's you. It's really you." Terror seized Clara. "This can't be happening. Not now. Not like this," she whispered, pulling away. "This can't be real," and fled, running for the exit, leaving Davy alone in the center of the dance floor. With a terrifying certainty, he had rediscovered the love he lost 8 years ago. The ballroom erupted in murmurs. The elite had witnessed something unprecedented. Some were already posting on social media. The video would go viral in minutes. Magnolia approached her son with a strained smile. "What an unnecessary spectacle, dear," Magnolia said. But Davi didn't hear. He was reliving memories Clarina at 21, radiant and pregnant. "If it's a girl, Luna," she used to say, "like the moon that illuminates us." And then the emptiness. She vanished overnight. His mother had told him Clarina had aborted and run off with money. "She told me she had lost the baby," he murmured. Magnolia froze imperceptibly. "What are you talking about, Clarina?" "You remember, don't you?" "I don't know who you're talking about." Davy turned to his mother, his eyes holding a new coldness. "The woman who disappeared from my life 8 years ago, who you said abandoned me." "That was a long time ago, dear." "She has a daughter, Luna, who is 7 years old." Magnolia maintained her composure but calculated quickly. "That doesn't concern us." "If Clarina disappeared pregnant 8 years ago..." He didn't finish the sentence. The math was devastating. "Even if that were true," Magnolia said carefully, "what do you intend to do? That woman has nothing to offer. You have responsibilities." Davy looked at his mother as if seeing her for the first time. "If she really is Clarina and that girl is my daughter, then I'm already 8 years late as a father and as a man." The determination in her son's voice alarmed Magnolia. "Davi, be sensible." "I will find them, and when I do, I will discover what truly happened 8 years ago." Davi walked away, leaving Magnolia alone amidst the wreckage of what should have been a perfect night. She discreetly pulled out her cell phone. "I need information about Clara Ribeiro, a cleaning lady with a 7-year-old daughter. Everything where she works, lives, studies. It's urgent." Outside, Clara ran through the streets, tears streaming down her face. Her cell phone rang. It was Donna Maria, the nanny. "Clara, are you okay?" "I am," she lied, pausing to catch her breath. "Luna asked something strange before bed. She said she dreamed of a man who danced with you, a man who smiled just like her." Clara closed her eyes. Even in her sleep, Luna felt connections that Clara had hidden for 7 years. "It's just a dream." "Are you sure you're okay? You sound like you've seen a ghost." Clara looked back at the hotel's golden lights. "I saw the ghost of my past, and now he knows there's a Luna." Davy was in the parking lot looking up at the stars, taking out his cell phone and calling his personal assistant. "Marcos, I need you to find someone. Clara Ribeiro, works at the Grandeur Hotel, has a daughter named Luna." A pause. "No, it's not business. It's personal, very personal." He hung up and whispered into the night. "Clarina, what did they do to you? What did they do to us?" The moon shone brightly in the sky as if listening. 3 days later, Davi hadn't slept since the ball. In his office at the Castellani penthouse, Marcos entered with a hesitant folder. "I found Clara Ribeiro, but there are problems." Davi abandoned the documents he pretended to read. "What problems?" "She was fired yesterday from the Grandeur Hotel. Official reason, cost cutting, but..." Marcos hesitated. The order came directly from management, and I found out someone inquired about her before I did. Privileged access. Davy's jaw tightened. Where does she live? Rua das Palmeiras, 847 East Zone. She left early today looking for work, but... Marcos checked his notes. She's already tried 5 companies. All said the position was filled yesterday. Davy grabbed the keys to his Civic, his most discreet car. This stays between us. Meanwhile, Clara walked through the city center, resume in hand. 6th company, 6th rejection. Position was filled yesterday. Always the same excuse. Exhausted, she sat on a bench in Praça da República and called Dona Maria. How's Luna? Fine, but worried. She asked, why did you cry in the shower yesterday? Clara forced a smile. Luna noticed everything. Tell her Mommy will fix everything. Clara, can I tell you something? Luna had another dream about that man. She says he was looking for something he lost a long time ago. Clara's heart raced. It's just a child's dream, maybe. But she woke up asking if Daddy knows she exists. Clara almost dropped the phone. What did you say? That Daddy lives far away. But she insisted, Dona Maria, he doesn't seem far away. He seems lost. Clara hung up, disturbed. From the other side of the square, Davy had been watching for 5 minutes without the courage to approach. She was thinner, more fragile, but still his Clarinha. When Clara looked up, their eyes met. Time stopped. Clara froze. It was like seeing a ghost, but a ghost that had made her world collapse. Davy crossed the square slowly, as if she might disappear. Clarinha. The nickname made her tremble, but also ignited an old anger. Don't call me that, Davy. He stopped 2 meters away. We need to talk. About what? About how you abandoned me while I was pregnant. The accusation hit him like a shot. Or about how you sent your mother to drive me out of town. My mother did what? The genuine confusion in his voice made Clara hesitate. For 8 years she had imagined this moment. He would deny it, lie, but there was real shock in his eyes. You don't know. I don't know anything. All I know is that you disappeared from my life overnight. Clara studied his face. His hurt seemed genuine. You lost your job. Davy changed the subject. How do you know? Because someone is sabotaging you. I have a suspicion of who. His sincere tone disarmed her slightly. Why do you care? Because when you disappeared, you took my heart with you. The words hit her like a punch. She stood up but didn't leave. I didn't disappear. I left. Why? Clara stared at him, looking for signs of a lie. Your mother didn't tell you. My mother told me you lost the baby and decided to start a new life. What baby? Now it was Davy who was confused. Ours, the one you were expecting. Clara felt the world spin. I never told you I was pregnant. What do you mean? I found out after your mother. She stopped, realizing she had said too much. After she... What, Clarina? The insistence in his voice made him seem vulnerable again. You really don't know. I don't know anything. Clara fought against years of hurt and distrust. She approached me, offered me money to leave your life. Davy paled. How much? 50,000. And you accepted. His question sounded more hurt than accusatory. Not at first. But then she showed me photos of you with other women. She said you would never acknowledge a child with me, that you already knew about the pregnancy, and that the money was for me, to get rid of the problem. That's a lie. I went to your apartment to make sure. Davy frowned. When? The night before I left. But you weren't alone. The memory returned the partner's daughter. His mother had insisted he meet, a night he spent entirely thinking of Clarina. It was nothing. I know that now, Clara interrupted him. But at the time, seeing you with her after everything your mother said, where did you go? To the countryside. I came back 5 years ago. And you never looked for me. Clara shook her head. You were engaged, he said of the arranged engagement he had ended because he couldn't forget her. I ended it, I know, but I thought it was too late. They fell silent, processing 8 years of misunderstandings. Clarina, Davy whispered, you said you had the baby. Clara took a deep breath. This was the hardest part. I have a daughter, Luna. She's 7 years old. Davy did the math. She's yours. The word hung between them like a bomb about to explode. I have a daughter, he whispered, who grew up without knowing her father. Guilt and loss hit him like an avalanche. I want to meet her. It's not that simple. Why not? Because she'll ask where you were. I don't know how to explain that you didn't know she existed. Davy felt the weight of 7 lost years. Let's pick her up from school, he said, together. Clara hesitated. Once Luna met Davy, everything would change forever. If we go together, there's no going back. I don't want to go back. I want my family. On the way to school, Clara showed Davy photos of Luna on her cell phone. Each image was like a dagger. First steps, he missed birthdays. He didn't celebrate smiles he never saw. First day of school, Clara commented, showing Luna in an oversized uniform. She cried because she wanted her father to be there. What did you say? That he was working very far away but thinking of her. Davy stopped walking. You lied to protect my image. I lied to protect her. A child needs to believe she is loved. They arrived at the school. Davy saw the simple building, the other mothers waiting at the gates, a world completely different from his own. How did you manage to raise her alone? Working hard, saving every penny, dreaming of the day we could have a better life. Clara took out her wallet and showed him a faded photo of her pregnant, smiling. I took this photo thinking of you. I wanted you to see how she grew in my belly. The image crushed him, Clara pregnant, radiant, alone. Why did you keep this? Because even though I was hurt, I still loved you. The bell rang. Children ran out, yelling, laughing. Davy searched among them. There, Clara pointed. Luna Ribeiro walked out talking with a friend. Brown hair like Clara's, but her eyes were unmistakably Davy's. When she smiled, it was like looking in a mirror. My God, he whispered. Mommy. Luna ran to Clara, stopping when she saw Davy. She didn't approach, but observed him with cautious curiosity. Luna, this is Davy. Hi, Luna said, maintaining a safe distance behind her mother. Hi, Luna. Davy knelt to be at her height. Your mom told me you like to dance. Luna nodded, still shy. I like to too. I once danced with your mom, where, in a very elegant place, she danced like a princess. Luna smiled for the first time. Mommy is the best dancer in the world. I completely agree. Luna approached a little. Do you have children? The question hit Davy hard. Clara intervened. Luna, how about we get some ice cream? Okay. But Luna looked at Davy. Your eyes are just like mine. They are, Davy confirmed, emotional. My teacher says we inherit our eyes from our parents. The innocent comment created tension. Clara quickly changed the subject. Let's go before the ice cream shop closes. As they walked, Luna held Clara's hand but constantly looked at Davy. There was something familiar about him she couldn't name. Davy, she suddenly asked, did you know my mom when she was little like me? I met her when she was a little older. And were you friends? Davy looked at Clara, who nodded almost imperceptibly. We were very good friends. Why did you stop seeing each other? The question everyone feared. Clara knelt to Luna's height. Sometimes adults get lost, my love, like when you get lost in the mall and have to look for me. But I always find you, and Davy found me today. Luna digested the information with a child's seriousness. So now you won't get lost anymore. Clara looked at Davy, seeing hope and determination in his eyes. We'll try not to get lost ever again. At the ice cream shop, Luna brightened up with Davy, telling him about school friends and dreams. He listened to every word as if it were gold. You know what I want most? Luna asked, licking her chocolate ice cream. What? For my family to be like the drawings I make with Mommy, with me, and, looking at Davy, with someone special to take care of us. Davy's heart broke and rebuilt itself. What kind of special someone? Someone who makes Mommy truly smile, who teaches me Dad things, who protects us when we're scared. Davy looked at Clara, who was fighting back tears. And what would this special someone be like? Luna thought seriously. Tall with kind eyes who knows how to dance, she said, looking directly at Davy. Just like you. The comment created a silence charged with emotion. Luna, Clara interjected, we need to go home. Can I see you tomorrow? Luna asked Davy. If your mom lets you. Luna turned to Clara with pleading eyes. Please, Mommy, can he come for dinner at our house, Luna, please? It's been so long since we've had a visitor. Clara looked at Davy, seeing hope in his eyes. All right, tomorrow. Luna jumped with joy. When they said goodbye, she hugged Davy a quick but meaningful embrace. Bye, Davy. I'll dream of you. After Clara and Luna left, Davy stayed in the ice cream shop processing everything. He took out his cell phone and called Marcos. Marcos, I want everything about my mother, accounts, phone calls, movements from the last 10 years. Any specific problem? She destroyed my family. I need proof. Meanwhile, at the apartment, Clara helped Luna get ready for bed. Mommy, Davy really is special. Why do you think that? Because when he looks at you, your eyes get happy. And when he looks at me, Luna paused thoughtfully. He looks like someone who lost something and found it again. Her daughter's perception startled Clara. Luna, if I told you a very important secret, could you keep it? Of course. Clara took a deep breath. Davy, he's not just a special friend. I know, Luna whispered. He's my dad, right? Clara almost fainted. How do you know? His eyes, his smile, and... Luna thought, when he hugged me, I felt like I was home. Clara hugged her daughter, crying. Why didn't he ever come before? Because he didn't know where we were, but now he does. And will he stay? I don't know, my love. Adults have complicated lives. But does he love me? I'm sure he does. Luna fell asleep happy for the first time in a long time. At Magnolia's apartment, the phone rang. It was the private investigator. Senora Castellani, I have information about your son. Speak. He found Clara Ribeiro. They spent the afternoon together with the child. They went to an ice cream shop. They looked like a family. Magnolia felt a cold anger. Where? Villa Maddalena. And there's more. He requested an investigation into you. He wants a detailed financial history. Magnolia hung up and smiled coldly. 8 years ago, she had underestimated the situation. This time, she wouldn't make the same mistake. She picked up another cell phone and dialed. Hello, I need an urgent favor regarding Clara Ribeiro and her daughter. Yes, the same one from years ago. A pause. I want her to understand that some doors once closed should not be reopened, and if she insists on opening them well, accidents happen to stubborn people. Magnolia hung up and looked out the window. The war had started again, and this time she wouldn't let Clara Ribeiro destroy the plans she had for the Castellani family. At Luna's school, an employee noted information from a file. Luna Ribeiro, father unknown, mother, Clara Ribeiro unemployed. Attention, investigate family situation for possible report to Child Protective Services. The war for Luna had begun. The next morning, Clara woke up to her phone ringing. It was Dr. Regina from Child Protective Services. Senora Ribeiro, we need to schedule an interview today if possible. About what? A report has reached us. We'll assess the situation and schedule a home visit for next week. Clara felt relieved. At least it wasn't today. What kind of report? I prefer not to discuss it over the phone. Can you come to our office at 2 p.m.? After hanging up, Clara hugged Luna, who was eating cereal on the couch. Mommy, why are you sad in the morning? It's adult stuff, my love. Is Davy coming for dinner tonight? Clara had forgotten. We promised he would come. I don't know if he can, Luna. Why doesn't he like us anymore? The innocent question hurt. Of course he does. It's just that sometimes adults have complicated problems. Meanwhile, Davy was in his office when Marcos entered with a somber expression. I found information about your mother, bank transfers payments, but there's a problem. What problem? She's being very careful now. She uses third-party companies' indirect contacts as if she knows she's being investigated. Davy frowned. She suspects. And there's more. The private investigator she hired is conducting extensive surveillance. Clara is being monitored 24 hours a day. Monitored how? Photos, recordings, movement reports. Someone is documenting her every step. Davy felt growing unease. For what? To build a dossier to prove negligence, instability, anything that justifies the child's removal. That afternoon, Clara went to Child Protective Services. Dr. Regina was professional but serious. Senora Ribeiro, we are concerned about Luna's situation. You've been unemployed for a week, correct? Yes, but I'm looking. And recently, Luna was seen with an unidentified man. Can you explain? Clara hesitated. He's her father. A father who was absent for 7 years and suddenly appeared? The circumstances are complicated. Dr. Carlos Lima, a social worker, consulted his notes. The report mentions that Luna shows emotional confusion, that she talks about a dream daddy constantly. She's a child. She has imagination. Senora Ribeiro, Dr. Regina said carefully, our function is to protect children. We will conduct a home visit on Friday, assess the environment, stability, emotional safety, and then we'll decide if Luna is in an adequate environment. The threat wasn't direct, but it was clear. When Clara left, she called Davy. They're making a visit on Friday to assess if I can keep Luna. I'll be there. No. If you show up, it confirms everything they're saying. Davy, we can't face this separately, and we can't give them ammunition. That night, Davy canceled dinner with Clara for safety. Luna was disappointed. He didn't want to come. He really wanted to, but he had to work. Daddies always work a lot, Luna whispered. The innocent observation made Clara realize she was creating a pattern. She didn't want an absent father who promises but doesn't show up. The next day, Davy met Beatriz Morena, his ex-girlfriend, at a discreet cafe in Campinas. Davy, you shouldn't be here, she whispered, looking around nervously. Beatriz, I need to understand what my mother did. She hesitated, then took a deep breath. When we started talking about moving in together, she appeared and offered me money to leave your life. You accepted. Not at first, but then the problem started. Beatrice recounted how she lost her job, how her landlord evicted her without reason, how anonymous letters arrived at her parents' house. She didn't threaten me directly, she just created impossible situations. Why didn't you tell me? Because she showed me photos of you with other women. She said you were deceiving me, that I was just a temporary distraction. The pattern became clear: isolation, pressure, manipulation. Beatrice, did you keep any proof? She took an envelope from her bag. Some letters and means of intimidation. I kept them because I knew one day this would come back. What do you mean? Women like your mother don't stop Davy. They escalate, and when someone challenges them, she trailed off worried. Who is she pursuing now? My daughter's mother. Beatrice paled. You have a daughter? I do, and my mother is trying to separate our family. Davy, be careful. 8 years ago, she was calculating. Now, with age and power, she can be dangerous. That night, Davy studied the documents Beatrice gave him. Subtle but threatening letters, job opportunities in other cities, anonymous calls to employers. Marcos entered the office. Sir, there's news about Clara. What did you find out? Your mother isn't acting alone. She hired a family consulting firm specializing in delicate cases. What kind of cases? Removal of children from inadequate environments. They create documentation, organize procedures, facilitate adoptions for appropriate families. Davy realized it was a machine. And there's more. The firm has a history of working with Child Protective Services cases where children were removed quickly. Legally, technically, yes, but there are always rich families waiting to adopt these children. Davy understood the dimension of what they faced. It's not just my mother. It's an entire system created to separate poor families from their children. Marcos, I need a lawyer, the best one you can find, to sue my mother to protect my family. Friday arrived like a sentence. Clara had cleaned the apartment 3 times, organized documents, and bought food she couldn't really afford. Dr. Regina and Dr. Lima arrived punctually now, accompanied by a child psychologist. "We will evaluate the home environment," Dr. Regina formally announced. They meticulously inspected everything: the refrigerator cabinets, Luna's toys, school books. Every detail was noted. "Current income?" Dr. Lima asked. "I'm looking for a job. I have savings for a few months." "How much?" "Or $300. A severe note was made. Health plan for the child. We use SUS. More notes. The psychologist, Dr. Mariana, spoke with Luna separately. "Luna, do you like living here?" "I like it. It's small, but it has love." "And your mother, how does she act when she's sad?" "She cries in the shower. She thinks I don't hear, but I do." "Why does she cry?" Luna thought seriously. "Because she wants to give me nice things, but she can't. And the man who appeared, Davy, he has kind eyes. Mommy is happy when he's around. Would you like him to live here?" "If he made Mommy stop crying in the shower, yes." After 2 hours, Dr. Lima was direct with Clara. "Senora Ribeiro, our assessment indicates economic and emotional vulnerability. Luna demonstrates excessive maturity for her age, a sign that she assumes adult responsibilities. You protect Luna from everything, but you cannot protect her from financial insecurity, nor from the emotional instability she clearly perceives." Dr. Regina continued, "We will recommend intensive psychosocial monitoring. If the situation doesn't improve in 30 days, She didn't finish the sentence, but the implication was clear. After they left, Clara sat on the floor exhausted and called Davy. "They gave me 30 days. For what? To prove I can take care of Luna. And if I can't, the monitoring turns into temporary removal." Davy felt helpless. "Clara, we have to do something. Like what your mother has an entire system working against us. Then we'll expose the system. How? I don't know yet, but I won't let them take Luna." That night, Luna asked Clara, "Mommy, are those people going to take me away?" Clara tried to lie, but Luna was too smart. "I don't know, my love. If they take me, I'll run away and come back to you, Luna, because family is who loves, not who has money." Her daughter's simple wisdom broke Clara's heart. Davy decided to confront his mother, but this time with a strategy. He went to the mansion with a discreet recorder and the dossier of evidence Marcos had gathered. Magnolia was in the garden watering roses as if nothing were happening. "How good of you to come, dear. We need to talk about your future." "About my future, or about Clara and Luna?" "About sensible choices." Magnolia didn't deny involvement. "Davy, you're intelligent. You know this woman has nothing to offer." "She has my heart. Heart doesn't pay bills, doesn't educate children properly." Davy showed photos on his phone, Luna smiling, playing, clearly happy. "She seems poorly cared for, she seems poor. And poverty is a form of neglect, dear." "Do you really believe that?" "I believe in giving the best to those we love." Magnolia stopped watering. "Davy, this child can have an extraordinary life, a first-world education opportunities Clara could never offer, with a family who loves her, with a family who can take proper care of her." Davy realized his mother genuinely believed she was doing the right thing. "Mom, you did this before with Beatrice Patricia. How many lives have you reorganized?" "Aldo knows. I protected you from mistakes that would have cost your happiness." "My happiness or your control?" Magnolia turned to her son with wounded eyes. "Everything I did was out of love. You are my only son, my only real family. These women, they pass, but I will always be here." For the first time, Davy saw real vulnerability in his mother. "Mom, Luna is your granddaughter. Luna is a child who can have a brilliant future away from all this drama. And Clara can restart her life elsewhere with enough money to be happy." Magnolia revealed her plans without realizing she was incriminating herself. "I offered her resources to settle in another city, a decent job, a home, a dignified future, without pressure, without drama." "And what if she refuses? Why would she refuse the best opportunity for her daughter because she's a mother?" Magnolia hesitated, then revealed her final cards. Davi, there are social programs for cases like this. Families who cannot provide an adequate environment. Would you talk to Child Protective Services? I've already spoken delicately. I expressed a grandmother's concern about her granddaughter's situation. Davi feigned shock. You're Luna's grandmother. Technically, yes, and a voice has rights. What rights? Visits shared custody. In extreme cases, she stopped, realizing she had said too much. In extreme cases, what? When parents cannot provide adequately, extended family can intervene. Davy now understood the complete plan. Magnolia didn't just want to separate him from Clara, she wanted Luna. You want custody of Luna. I want a dignified future for my granddaughter under your control, under my protection. Davi felt genuine anger but controlled it. I need to think about this. Of course, but don't take too long. Situations like this tend to get complicated with time. When Davy left, he immediately called Clara. She wants Luna. What do you mean? She doesn't just want to separate us. She wants custody of Luna for herself. Is that possible with her money and influence? Yes. Clara felt dread. What do we do? Exactly what we planned, but now I know the real prize, Davy. Clara, trust me. Tomorrow everything will change. That night, Magnolia called lawyers specializing in family law. I want to initiate proceedings for my granddaughter's custody, allege maternal inadequacy and paternal absence. Senora, the father is present now. For a short time, he'll realize he can't assume such a big responsibility, and if he insists, then we'll have to demonstrate that he's also not prepared for fatherhood. Magnolia was ready to destroy her own son to maintain control. The war had entered its final phase. A week later, Clara was at her new job when she received a call from Dr. Lima. Senora Ribeiro, you need to come to Child Protective Services today. It's urgent. Has something happened? We've received new documentation. It's best if we talk in person. Clara nervously called Davy. They called me. I think your mother accelerated the process. I'm coming. No. Remember the plan. At Child Protective Services, Dr. Lima showed Clara documents. We received a petition from Luna's paternal grandmother. Donna Magnolia Castellani is claiming rights over her granddaughter. Clara feigned surprise. Paternal grandmother, and a letter from the father. Dr. Lima read, after reflection, I recognize that I am not prepared for paternal responsibilities. I agree that my mother can offer a more stable environment. The words hurt Clara, even knowing they were fake. He gave up. Apparently, Donna Magnolia is offering private education, a health plan, a future that Luna doesn't need that, Clara interrupted, her voice trembling. Senora Ribeiro, we need to consider the child's best interest. Clara forced real tears. Can I say goodbye to Luna first? Of course. We'll schedule a family meeting for tomorrow. When she left, Clara called Davy, crying real tears. It worked, but Davy, what if something goes wrong? It won't. We have the recordings. And if they're not enough, they will be, trust me. But Davy's voice didn't sound as confident as she had hoped. That night, Magnolia received confirmation from CPS. She smiled, satisfied. Finally, everything was as planned. But she didn't know that Clara had recorded their entire conversation, nor that Marcos had contacted an investigative journalist interested in corruption within the child protection system. The next day, everyone gathered at CPS. Clara, Davi, Magnolia, Luna, and the technical team. Luna was visibly confused and scared. Why is everyone so serious? We're going to talk about important things, Dr. Regina explained. Magnolia entered her role as the concerned grandmother. Luna, I'm Magnolia, your daddy's grandmother. Luna hid behind Clara. Why didn't you ever come to see me before if you're my grandma? Because adults sometimes get lost like mommy and daddy got lost. Similar. Dr. Lima conducted the meeting. We are discussing an arrangement that benefits Luna. Donna Magnolia offered. Nobody asked me what I want, Luna interrupted, scared. Of course, dear, Magnolia said. What do you want? To stay with mommy and daddy? But what if daddy and mommy can't take good care of you? Luna looked between her parents, confused. They do take care of me, Luna insisted. Davy forced himself to say the agreed-upon words, "Perhaps Grandma can give you things that we can't." Luna looked at her father as if betrayed. "You don't want me anymore." The question broke Davy. "I love you, but if you love me, why are you giving me to her?" The comment created a tense silence. Luna began to cry. "Did I do something wrong? I promise I'll be good." Clara couldn't take it anymore. "Luna, you're perfect." "Then why don't you want to stay with me anymore?" The pain in Luna's voice broke everyone's heart, including Magnolia's, who hesitated for the first time. Dr. Lima perceived the tension. "Perhaps we should—" "No." Clara stood up. "Enough." Magnolia frowned. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about stopping this charade," Clara said, taking out her cell phone, "and showing who you really are." "What charade?" Davy joined Clara. "The charade that you care about Luna." "Of course I care." "You care." Clara turned on the recorder. "Then why did you say this here?" Magnolia's voice echoed through the room. "Luna can have an extraordinary life with a family who can adequately care for her. And if Clara refuses, why would she refuse a better opportunity for her daughter? And if she insists on staying with Luna, Clara can restart her life elsewhere." Dr. Lima stopped the recording, disturbed. "Donna Magnolia, is this real?" Magnolia was pale. "Those were private conversations." "Private." Davy showed his tablet. "Or confessions about how you systematically destroyed relationships." More recordings played Magnolia admitting to manipulating other women, paying them to leave. Dr. Regina consulted her notes, visibly shaken. "Donna Magnolia, these opportunities you offered Senora Ribeiro came with pressure. I just orchestrated a campaign to destroy her life," Davy completed. Luna, who had been quiet, approached Magnolia with tears in her eyes. "Grandma, are you mean?" The innocent question disarmed Magnolia. "Luna, I wanted to protect you." "By lying?" "My teacher says lying hurts, sometimes adults." "Did you hurt my mom?" Magnolia looked at her granddaughter, the child she claimed to want to protect, and saw fear in her eyes. I thought I was doing the right thing." Dr. Lima took control. "Based on this evidence, we will close the custody case and open an investigation into irregularities." "What kind of investigation?" Dr. Regina asked, concerned. "Into how our institution was manipulated and into other similar cases." Magnolia realized the gravity of the situation. "I never wanted to hurt Luna." "But you wanted to hurt us," Clara said firmly. "And that hurts her." Can I talk to Luna?" Luna hid behind Clara. "I don't want to." The granddaughter's rejection hit Magnolia like a punch. Dr. Lima closed the meeting. "The case is filed. Luna remains with her parents, and Donna Magnolia, we expect your full cooperation in the investigation." When they left, Magnolia was left alone with her lawyer. "Senora, they have enough evidence for a civil lawsuit. I recommend a settlement." "What kind of settlement?" "Financial compensation to the victim's contribution to reforms in the system and distance from the family." Magnolia realized she had lost everything she tried to protect. Months later, Davy and Clara were in a modest rented house, not luxurious but cozy. Clara worked part-time at a small dance school. Davy worked as a freelance consultant. Money was tight, but sufficient. Luna was in the kitchen doing homework when the doorbell rang. "Is it someone we know?" Clara asked cautiously. Davy looked through the window. "It's my mother." Clara tensed. "What does she want?" "I don't know. Do you want me to send her away?" "Luna, go to your room for a minute." "Why?" "Adults need to talk." Magnolia entered hesitantly, visibly changed. She had lost weight, looked older, less imposing. "Hi, son." "Hi, Mom." "Clara." Clara merely nodded, still suspicious. "Can I sit?" "Why are you here?" Clara asked directly. "To apologize, truly." "You've apologized several times, but not from the heart." "I was angry, feeling wronged." Magnolia paused. "I started therapy. My therapist made me understand things about myself that—" "What things?" Davy asked. That I confused love with control for years, that I hurt people thinking I was protecting them. Clara remained skeptical. And now I'm trying to learn the difference between loving and possessing. How can I trust you? You can't, not yet, but I can try to earn your trust. Luna appeared at the kitchen door, curious. Hi, she said shyly to Magnolia. Hi, Luna. Do you still want to take me away? The direct question embarrassed Magnolia. No. I've learned that a child's place is with those who love her. And do you love me, or do you want to possess me? Luna's wisdom surprised everyone. I'm learning the difference. Luna thought seriously. You can visit me sometimes like a normal grandma. Clara intervened. Luna, that's a complicated decision. Mommy, she seems sadder than mean now. The innocent observation touched Magnolia deeply. I can try to be a normal grandma if Mommy and Daddy let me. Clara looked at Davy, who nodded hesitantly. One visit a month here at our house. Thank you, but anything strange I understand. When Magnolia left, Luna asked, Mommy, why don't you like Grandma? It's not that I don't like her, it's that I'm protecting our family. But families can grow right. They can, but slowly. A year and a half later, Clara had managed to open a small dance school in a converted garage. It wasn't luxurious, but it was hers. Davy worked as a consultant, earning well but without excesses. It was the end-of-year presentation day. The small space was packed with proud parents. Clara watched from backstage, nervous. Everything will be fine, Davy whispered, hugging her. What if Luna forgets the steps? Then she improvises like we've learned to do. On the improvised stage, Luna, now 9 years old, led a group of children in a simple choreography. She was more confident but still had her natural shyness. In the audience, Magnolia watched beside Donna Maria. Her relationship with the family was still cautious but had improved. She came once a month, always supervised, always respecting boundaries. She dances well, Magnolia commented softly. Did she get it from her mother? Donna Maria replied, Yes, Clara was always special. It took me a long time to recognize that. When the performance ended, applause filled the garage. Luna ran to her parents. Did you see I only messed up once? You were great, Clara said. And when you messed up, you kept dancing, Davy added. That's being a professional. Magnolia approached with simple flowers for our dancer. Thank you, Grandma. Luna accepted the flowers but still kept some distance. Can I give you a hug? Luna looked at Clara, who nodded. The hug was quick but genuine. After everyone left, the family cleaned the space together. Mom, Luna asked, when will I have a big dance school? Maybe never, my love, but this one is ours. Is it better to have our small one or a big borrowed one? Our small one. I agree. Davy carried chairs. Luna, what did you think of Grandma today? She's trying. Sometimes she still looks like she wants to be in charge, but she stops when she remembers. The observation made Clara smile. And do you like her? A little bit, but you two are my main family. We always will be. At home, after Luna was asleep, Clara and Davy talked in the kitchen. Do you think we did the right thing, giving your mother a chance? I think we did the human thing. I don't know if it's right or wrong, and if she relapses, then we protect Luna. But so far, she's trying. Yes, and Luna deserves a chance to know the grandma who tries. Clara looked out the window. Outside, the moon shone the same moon that inspired their daughter's name. Davy, sometimes I think about what it would be like if we hadn't reunited. Why? Luna would grow up without a father, I without you, your mother without a chance to change, and I without you too. Do you believe in destiny? I believe in second chances. Clara smiled. And third and fourths, for those who deserve them. How will we know if your mother deserves it? By what Luna says, children feel the truth that adults hide. In the living room, they found a drawing Luna had left on the table, a family of 4 holding hands. But one of them, Grandma, was a little further away. Underneath, my family. Grandma learning to be part. She understands everything, Clara observed, and forgives slowly as it should be. Davy put on soft music, not the waltz from the ball, but something new of theirs. Want to dance forever? They danced in the small living room in their rented house with an uncertain future, but one built together. It wasn't a perfect dance, but it was real. From her room, Luna peeked and smiled. Her family wasn't like in the movies. It was better. It was real. In the drawing on the table, the figure of Grandma was a little further away, but she was there. And Luna thought that maybe with time she could get closer. Some families find each other, others are built. Theirs was regained piece by piece, dance by dance, cautious forgiveness for deserved forgiveness. And that, Luna thought before sleeping, is much better than a fairy tale happy ending. It's a real ending. Did you like this story? Tell me in the comments what you would have done with Magnolia.